He'd killed 3 people by the age of 8. Hey guys, how's it going, Dudey? And I'm back with another video today. We're going to jump into the case of Amarjeet Sada. This is the youngest serial killer in India on record. Until recently, he was the youngest serial killer in the world. Now, I just want to preface this by saying I've looked at many different articles on the internet about this case, and due to his age when this happened, he was 8 years old, a lot of the information is undisclosed. It's shrouded in mystery because of his age. Now, looking across all of the literature on the internet, there are certain conflicting stories. So what I have done is I have deduced what I believe to be the truth by probability of, the amount of times something was said compared to others. For example, I found a couple of articles that said that his third victim was actually a boy, whereas the majority of the literature says that the victim was a girl. So things like that, what I believe I am bringing you is correct. If anything is slightly incorrect, let me know down in the comments. So Amarjeet was raised in Mushahar, which was a very poverty-stricken village in India. He was born to parents, his father a labourer. They worked very hard, but unfortunately they really struggled to scrape by. They had a large family. The Sada family actually made up the biggest family in the village, and the village had a lot of children that would often run around and play together. They often couldn't afford to attend school, so their schooling life was very inconsistent, but they'd always be playing out together. More often than not, Amarjeet would be playing with his cousins just because of how many people in the village he was related to. From time to time, Amarjeet was actually seen as a little bit of a loner, and also I found rumours that he was actually put to work by his father to try and help bring in more money for the family, and it is theorised that perhaps, putting a child into a labouring job so young could have led to certain abuses which may have triggered or contributed to the psychopathy that was beginning to grow inside that little boy. Now, psychopathy is a neuropsychiatric disorder marked by deficient emotional responses, lack of empathy, and poor behavioural controls, commonly resulting in persistent antisocial deviance and criminal behaviour. Now, there is no doubt whatsoever that Amarjeet Sada is most definitely a psychopath. And in 2006, his killing spree began. He murdered his little sister and his cousin. Now, interestingly, this was all covered up and considered to be family matters. Now, again, looking across the internet, I found certain comments on how culturally the boys are seen as more favoured within the family, as being able to bring in more money, etc. And so that certain people have theorised that this could have been the case, that, if this was a girl murdering boys, it would have been a completely different story. But the fact that it was a boy murdering girls, they decided to try and cover it all up and, as I said, describe it as family matters. Now, those are just opinions and comments that I have found, but I have found a number of them all saying the same thing. Let me know what you think down below. However, then 2007 came and he killed someone outside of his family. He killed little baby Khushbu, 6 months old. Khushbu's mother left little Khushbu at a local primary school where she was cared for, and she was asleep at the school when she was taken away from the safety of the primary school by Amarjeet, taken a little way and then strangled and was murdered, having her head caved in with a brick. She was then buried in a shallow grave using debris and grass. Now, when the mother came to collect her child, obviously the child was not there. Not even a child, the baby was not there. And all of the villagers had heard rumours and observed Amarjeet, that the darkness growing inside the boy, heard the rumours that the family were covering up some murders, and so they approached the boy and they questioned the boy, and he just happily told them what he had done, the fact that he had taken the baby away and caved the baby's head in with bricks and just lightly dusted over the baby to cover up what he had done. Apparently the translation for what he said was, "I killed her by beating her from a brick." He even leisurely took them to where he buried the body. Now, of course, the police were then involved, and they couldn't believe initially that an 8-year-old boy was capable of doing this. However, realizing that their son was a serial killer, the parents conceded and allowed Amarjeet to confess to the police. And he did so with zero remorse, zero emotion. In fact, before he told them what he did, he demanded that they give him biscuits. And once he received his biscuit with a sinister smile on his face, he revealed to police what he had revealed to the villagers, that he had taken the baby away, strangled the baby, hit the baby with a brick, and then buried the baby in a shallow grave. Apparently, he said to the police, "She was sleeping in the school. I took her a little away and killed her with a stone and buried her." Now, a psychologist which assessed Sada said, "Sada is a sadist who derives pleasure from inflicting injuries." Now, there was a big issue with this case, and that was that the boy was 8 years old. And never in history have they had to sentence a 8-year-old boy for serial killing, right? So there wasn't anything within the law to kind of deal with this. Now, this is something where I have, again, conflicting reports, so I'll just tell you both that I have. But basically, the first report says that they were unable to sentence him, unable to send him to prison, so they detained him at a children's home until he was 18 years of age. And it was at this home that he was able to get the medication and all the help that he needed. And it is reported that in 2016, after he turned 18, he was released, and he is currently out there somewhere as a 22, 23-year-old man with a new identity, and nobody knows where he is or who he is, and more importantly, whether he has actually recovered from his psychopathic tendencies. Now, that in itself is a very interesting question, which I'd love for you guys to answer down below. Do you think that these kind of people can be rehabilitated, or do you think it's just a matter of time before he finds a new victim? Now, as I said, there were some conflicting reports, and so basically I also found a report that stated that he was actually sent to juvenile prison for 3 years, which was the maximum that was available to him at the time. And it is theorised that after that 3-year sentence, which would have taken him to the age of 11, he was then put into a mental institution. But yeah, so take with that whatever you will. I have found more reports, however, that, you know, he was put into a children's home, mentally rehabilitated and released at the age of 18. But either way, whichever conflicting report you believe, juvenile prison or a children's home, the outcome seems to be the same. This man is released, this man is out there somewhere, and no one knows who he is. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about this case? Fascinating for sure. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out all my stuff down below as well. Please suggest any cases that you would like me to do. I will definitely take a look, and if they are interesting, I will cover them. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you very soon. Sweet one. Geese.